the 49ers versus the field in the NFC West. So the question is this, Sunil. It's not just who are you taking. Hypothetically, somebody comes to you right now and says, Sunil, everything you own, every dime in your bank account, everything you own is on the line. You have two choices here. You can either pick the 49ers, who are currently last place in the NFC West, to win the division, or you get the field, meaning if the Cardinals, the Rams, or the Seahawks win the division, you would win if you take the field. Who are you taking to win the NFC West at this current point? 49ers or the field? Whether it's fantasy football or higher lowers, Underdog has got you covered. Link is in the description. Promo code LSS to get your deposit match 50% up to $1,000 and your one free pick. Underdog, make picks, win money. Shout out to Underdog for being a great sponsor.
I'm taking the 49ers.
Oh.
And
okay.
we can't, and the reason for it, Jesse, is we can't just talk about what we just talked about and then completely flip it. Like the 49ers aren't that dude for this division the last however many years, right? So the last 2 years, the 49ers basically went undefeated, right? They lost one game when they benched everybody because they were keeping them healthy for the playoffs, right? But the NFC East hasn't been able to even compete with the 49ers over the last, few years. So to me, the way that we might be thinking about the Chiefs, all these other teams are thinking about the 49ers. And we saw it, man. We saw Rams fans being like, oh, after they won, they were talking their mess and seeing if we talk back. And I'd be like, oh, congratulations. And then they'd humble themselves like, I thought we were gonna get destroyed. You know what I mean? Like like that. How many people did we run into and say that from the Rams fans? Like, I don't think fan bases expect to beat the 49ers. And so until they could prove that they could come out here and defeat the 49ers, I think the 49ers are still the big bad guys on the block. They have one loss, right? They still have 5 games. If they go 5-1, Jesse, I don't think another team in the NFC East is going 5-1. And if I'm putting all my money on which team in the NFC, I'm sorry, the NFC West. Sorry, I didn't mean to say NFC East. But if I'm gonna put my money on which
team the East too.
if I'm gonna put my money on who I feel like can go if 5-1 in the NFC West, my money's on the 49ers, right? Because they're the ones that have shown to be able to do it most recently and most dominantly. So I don't think that changes just because they let one slip against the Rams. I think that they could fix all of these things. I think this type of loss humbles them. I think some of the interviews that were coming out, some of the sentiments that were said, this team was kind of feeling themselves and just felt like because they've been so dominant, they could just go out on the field and be better than everybody. I think they just expected that was going to happen without maybe being as focused and locked in. I don't think that happens anymore. So my money's still the 49ers win the NFC West. I still think they get a home game to go into the play. I don't think they get the 1 seed, but I do think that they have everything still to be a tough out in the playoffs and still be one of the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl, at least from the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to pick one team, if the question is, are you taking the 49ers or the Seahawks or the 49ers or the Rams or the 49ers or the Cardinals? I'm taking the 49ers. But you're giving me the field. And right now the 49ers are dead last. And I know it's only 3 games. So if I have to pick one team, I'm picking the 49ers. I think that they're still the team to beat in the NFC West. But when you're giving me all 3, man, and I know that you're 0-2 already in the NFC and 0-1 in the NFC West, I gotta go field, man. It's just you're playing a numbers game at that point. You got 3 chances. You got 3 6 in the fire versus 1. You got 3 fishing poles in the water versus 1. And even though 1 is more expensive and better and might have the better bait, I get it, but you still have 3 versus 1. So I just have to go with the numbers here, man. And I would go with the field to win the NFC West. Again, everything I own's on the line. I got to go with it. And right now, knowing that Hargrave's out for the year, CMC might be done for the year. I mean, not saying he is, but that's a real possibility at this point. You're without Debo for the next game at least. Brock Purdy's now banged up. You've got Bosa playing through an oblique. Kittle, when's he coming back? I mean, there's just too much disarray for me to feel confident that one team versus those three teams going to win the division. So that's it, man. I got to go the field, unfortunately.
You got to pull up that super chat again. Weak mentality.
Yeah. Well, weak mentality. I got everything on the line, man. So you don't, I do. No.
To me, the reason, like, I know it's nice to say, hey, they're in last place to fit a narrative, but
they are in last place. That's the reality right now.
That is reality, but there's also three teams that are tied for 1 and 2, right? So like they easily could be in second place. Like next week, they could easily be in second place. And 3 weeks from now, they
could be in first.
Be in first place. So like to me, I still have to look at, do any of these teams are they showing me that they're significantly better than the 49ers? And I don't think that, I know the Seahawks are undefeated, but, I've seen them crumble too many times to believe in them. The Cardinals and the Rams are pretty much tied with us. So to me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's great, and the thing that would suck if I had to actually make that bet, is that in 3 weeks, this could look completely different. You're right. Because if the 49ers go 3-0 over the next 3 weeks, all of a sudden, you're right. They are first in the NFC West. Yep. And that's just the reality of the situation. So, but they have to go 3-0. And so really that's kind of the bet is, do you think over the next 3 weeks that they will be 3-0? I guess I'm betting that they won't be, but they definitely could be. And so it's not like a bet that I just feel comfortable about. I was like, yeah, I'm putting it on the field and I feel great about it. Cause I'm certainly nervous about it, but I would have to go with the field. But in 3 weeks, you ask me again and they're 3-0. It's like, well, the 49ers?
No, you just got to give me that deed, baby.
Oh, whoa, pause. Jeez, did he chill out? Keith Murphy, the unbeaten, says only 3 players on the 2019 team are still left: Greenlaw, Bosa, and Debo. I get it, but and then he says, I'll push back. Purdy only lost 1. He got garbage time in the regular season. That's all I'm done. But in this scenario, he would be 0-2, right? Because the scenario is they lose to the Chiefs here in the next few weeks as well. So now you look at it, how many players were on that team in 2022 that lost to the Chiefs? And then 2023, and then now this year. A lot of the players are still the same. Trent. Yeah, go ahead.
And Jesse, to me, I know you're talking about mentality.
And Kyle's lost all of the games, frankly.
I'm not talking about mentality as far as the reason why if the Chiefs win again, that the 49ers should just, be sellers. I'm saying because the Chiefs have figured out, especially Spagnuolo, right, has figured out how to defeat Kyle. And until Kyle can show that he's figured out how to compete with that defense, that's what I'm talking. It's not a mentality thing to me. It's an X's and O's thing. Like, for everybody that calls me the Kyle Shanahan homer, I am. Like, I mean, in the sense, like, I truly, truly love Kyle Shanahan and want him to be our coach. But I still know that the Kansas City Chiefs, he hasn't proven that he could beat yet. I think Andy Reid knows how to, when push comes to shove, he has a quarterback and has a system that knows that they're never out of the game. And I think Spagnuolo has shown that he has Kyle Shanahan's number. It's not a mentality thing. It's like they have to figure out how to do it. It's not that the Kansas City Chiefs are just always getting lucky against the 49ers. They have figured something out. And it's not like they go out and they blow the 49ers out. So it's not like it's not close. It's literally the X's and O's that we have to see Kyle Shanahan be able to solve that puzzle, because one time maybe that's luck. 2 times you're like, okay. 3 times you're like, okay, this is a pattern at this point. So that's what I'm really going. It's not about a mindset. It's just about, if you can't win with these pieces against that team, you don't want to add to it. Now, when I say
He brings up Kyle too, which is like, oh yeah, no, he would be 0-5. So yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, for me, when I say sellers, I don't mean necessarily trade away pieces. I'm more in the camp that you were talking about. Don't go out and leverage your future. Like, just keep going with the team that you have, and see, if you guys can make a run and all that kind of stuff. I'm not bringing in another defensive lineman or trading away assets to get like another receiver or whatever the case may be. I think you just keep it as is and see if you could get any magic with the team. But I don't want to trade away picks or leverage the future with the team. That's what I meant by selling.